Well, first of all, I'm not someone who likes to read. I don't like to read at all. The first short novel that I read from Faulkner, I didn't like it as much. But after knowing what was the purpose of Faulkner of writing his short novels, then I started to enjoy reading them because I knew that he was trying to criticize the real Southern society via his imaginary county of Yagna. And I started to not only read the text, the histories, and the characters, but also trying to go beyond the text and trying to understand what was the author trying to tell me. I mean, what was his criticism all about? And that made it way more enjoyable, the short novels. And not only that, but it also helped me understand way more about the real Southern society. I mean, now I know how racism they are. I mean, the words from white people are taking over the words from black people, as we saw in Dry September, for example, with Minnie accusing Will Myers about assaulting her sexually, and all the society went after Will Myers and lynched him, even though they didn't have any proofs. They just believed in Minnie because she was white. And we could also see another example of these white privileges in Central Brass, for example, when Tom, and Joe realizes that Major Spain was the one who was trying to steal the brass, but they didn't say anything to authorities because they knew that their words as being black people weren't going to be taken seriously or or over the words from Major Spain, who is white. So if they went into a trial, they will end up losing. And well, now I also know the social dilemmas they have. For example, with a woman from the high classes, they don't want them to be alone. They want them to be married, but they also don't want them to be married with people that are laborer, for example, as we see in A Rose for Emily. When Emily was dating Homer, they didn't like to see her with Homer because he was a laborer, but they also didn't like to see her alone because she was supposed to be married. Um, I also know how hypocrites sometimes the people from Southern society were. For example, in Dry September, McLennan tried to protect Minnie. I mean, because she was a woman, so they were seen as delicate persons who need protection. But also at the same time, at the end of the story, we see McLennan hitting his wife, being misogynistic. So that didn't make much sense. They were also hypocrites. And I don't know. I mean, after reading all these short novels, I really liked the idea of knowing this much about the Southern society, knowing the history behind it, without the need to read real history books. I mean, I'm someone who doesn't like to read at all, so reading history is my worst nightmare. But being able to know about history um, via this novel, via these short novels, was incredible. I mean, I really enjoyed that. Even though I don't like to read, being able to know history while reading novels, it was fun. I would recommend anyone to know Faulkner. I didn't know him at the start of the class, but now I do, and I will try to know a little bit more about him. So that was my experience reading William Faulkner's. I hope more people will get to know him.